Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone today? Hope we're all good. Big up to the chat. Big up to everyone in the house right now on your lunch hour. I do appreciate you joining me, guys. Guys, don't forget hit that like button as soon as you come in. 36 people already in here. Should be 36 likes. Hit that fun button straight away. Let's get that going. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. If you have subscribed, don't forget to share the channel on the road to 4K. So big up to everyone in the house right now. I do appreciate you here as always. So I'm going to talk about it for a little bit because I've had a lot of comments, in the last few videos that I've done that, I'm always blasting Jurgen Klopp. I'm always having a go at Jurgen Klopp and blah de blah blah de blah. Well, I'm going to put the record straight today. I'm going to literally put the record straight and tell you where I stand as a Liverpool fan right now. Right? Look, this is my channel, so I have my own voice and I can say what I want. I'm not manipulated by anyone to change my mind about things. No one tells me what to do. People in the comments can have their say and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me, but I want to put everyone on alert now how I feel about this football club right now. Now, I've already titled this video FSG Out, so I don't know how much more I could actually say and get across about that I've said FSG out. I want FSG gone. They can't run this football club no more. So that's for starters. Everyone keeps getting on my neck. Why do you keep going at Jurgen? FSG is the issue. I swear people don't listen to my videos, or they listen to what they want to listen to at times. FSG need to leave this football club ASAP. I'm not even joking around no more. FSG need to get out of this football club. Now, I've never always been an FSG outer. I did a show on Coppish during the lockdown times. Do you remember them times? Do you remember them depressed lockdown times? Jeez, it seems like a lifetime ago. But in them days of lockdown, I did a show on Coppish about FSG in versus FSG out. And I was part of the in debate. There was a few of us on the in debate and a few on the out debate. And we basically battled back and forward and discussed, why are you FSG and why are you FSG out? We debated our points. They debated their points. And it was a good show. Go and watch it, guys. I think it was like about 18 months ago. It's on Coppish's YouTube channel. Go and check it out. It was a good show. Really good show. There's two parts of it. And I never had a problem with the ownership back then. I never had a ownership about the ownership. I never had a problem with them. I actually thought they were decent owners. I thought they were just doing their job. Yeah, we weren't splashing the cash, so to say, but they were buying strategically. I thought we were very good in the transfer market. You got rival fans going and say, like, how do Liverpool sell players like a Brewster and a Dominic Solanke for like 20 and 25 million each? How's that possible? And then buying quality players at good prices and making our team world class. So I never had a problem with them back then. And then the last, 18 months, it's really started to kick in a bit that there is an issue with this football club with FSG. Now, FSG got us to a certain height. They took us to a certain place. Look, FSG didn't save us. I know a lot of people will say FSG saved us. FSG didn't save us. What they did, they came in and saw an opportunity to buy a football club, the marketable size of Liverpool Football Club, for 300 million. Now, that is no money whatsoever to these people. You know, Liverpool Football Club on the market for only 300 million. That is why they bought us, because we're a marketable dream. We're a massive franchise. We're Liverpool Football Club, a huge, huge franchise. If you can buy that club with that franchise for a business of 300 million, and you just do everything right behind the scenes and just do the simple bits well, and keep the club ticking over, the club will go up in estimation of value because of the size of the football club anyway. So they didn't save us. They saw an opportunity to come in and buy something very cheap, which they know they'd make a lot of money on. And it's as simple as that. But I've always said it took them a long time to get started at this football club. It took them a long time. Probably the end of the Brendan Rodgers era, they're starting to get some idea. And then when they got Klopp in, that's when it all changed around. The whole club changed around when they got Klopp in. I don't want to go too much into it, you know the story. And I was never FSG out. I saw what the club was trying to do. They were going in the right way. They're going down the right path. I think we was all seeing that. We were buying players in like Mane's, your Salahs, Bobby Firmino's, Virgil van Dijk's, Alisson's, Matic came in on a free. We got Robbo from Hull turned into a quality left back. Trent came through the academy. You got James Milner on a free, which was a good deal at the time, in my opinion. You got Gini Wijnaldum came in, Fabinho came in, Thiago came in. Now Darwin Núñez has come in, Jota's come in, Luis Diaz has come in. These are quality players. I'm going through wicked players here, quality players. So it's not like we were buying trash. I mean, Shaqiri came in. Shaqiri was a great little player for us when he played. He was a great little asset to the team. Origi's just a club legend. He's just a cult hero. Maybe not a great player, but he's a cult hero for us with magical moments at Liverpool. So we bought good players, man. We bought good players, and Liverpool. So I was never on their back. I was never going, stuff FSG. What are we doing here? Why are we buying the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Matip and Alisson and Salah and Mane, Bobby Firmino? Why are we buying these players? No, I was never like that, because they turned out to be some of the best players in the world in their position for the time, and took us to Premier League, Champions League, and won us trophies. And we were very successful under that team. My problem is that, and this is where it comes from now, FSG took us to success. Even the biggest FSG haters in the chat right now will probably agree that, FSG helped us get to success. There's no doubt about that. We can't sit here and pretend it was just all the manager, because that'd be lies. It's everyone behind the scenes helping out, and then you get a world-class manager in there as well. It takes you over the edge. So I think we can all agree with that. They took us to the highest. We've got no problem with that. But FSG's problem is that they can't keep teams there. You look at the Boston Red Sox right now. Look, the Boston Red Sox, I believe, didn't win the World Series for like 80 years or whatever it ridiculously was in North America. And then FSG came in, and I believe they won 3 or 4 World Series since FSG have been there. But they did the same sort of thing with the Red Sox. They've got any Americans in the chat, they might know more than me. I think some, but they took over the Boston Red Sox when they were dead and buried on their arse, couldn't compete anymore, and they took them to a height, and everyone was behind FSG, everyone's behind the Red Sox. They got big again. They got their franchise went through the roof, their commercial revenue went through the roof. Everything went really well, and they got to such a standard. But the problem is they can't keep you at that standard. You can't keep teams at that standard, and that is the issue right now. Liverpool, when they won the Premier League and Champions League, we was in the most powerful state as a football club this club has been in a generation. There's no doubt about that. You got Jurgen Klopp at the helm. We've got world-class players on the football pitch. We've just won the Champions League. The season after, we just won the Premier League. We would never, ever, ever go be in a stronger position as a football club, probably again in our lifetimes, than we were in them 2 years, right? And if you go back in them 2 years, we wasted the opportunity to keep this team at that level right now. So we're in the Champions League. We know what happened after the year we won the Champions League. We didn't really sign anyone. We got a young Harvey Elliott and a Sepp van der Berg in. Now, there was a lot of issues. Everyone was crying. I weren't too bothered. I was still like, no, I'm not FSG out. Why would I be? We just won the Champions League. Why would we be? Then at the same time, I'm listening to my manager say he doesn't want any players in. This is where people have got to start putting things together as well. You've got to start putting pieces of the jigsaw together, guys. It all does make sense if you think about it. So Klopp didn't want no players in after the Champions League win because in his opinion, he thought he had the best squad possible. In his opinion, he thought he had the best team in England at the time, and it was hard to disagree with him. And he thought next season we can go on and do something special. And obviously he was right because we went on and won the Premier League and completely destroyed the league that year without signing anyone. From Klopp's point of view, I can understand it because Jurgen Klopp has always been in a point of power, especially when he was a Borussia Dortmund manager. When Jurgen Klopp was Borussia Dortmund manager, he was at a power, the highest of the highest he could be at Dortmund. He had a quality side. Everyone remembers Klopp's 11, his Klopp squad at Borussia Dortmund. It was high quality. And then every year after that, he won back-to-back leagues. But every single season after that, he'd always lose his best players. Like his best players always get stolen up by Bayern Munich, which to this day is why Klopp's got a big dislike for Bayern Munich right now. And now he's looking at it and thinking, right, no one's coming for my players because we're at Liverpool Football Club right now, where we are at a level where we are the destination now, not the stepping stone. You got to remember what Liverpool were for so many years was a stepping stone. Look at Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez came to Liverpool, got to such a high, we couldn't keep him. He was too good for us. We just couldn't keep him. We were a stepping stone. But with Jurgen Klopp in them years, Liverpool were the destination. That's where people wanted to go. Everyone was watching, going, Jesus, I want to go and play for this Liverpool team. Go back signing Thiago. He did that interview with Guillem Balaguer, didn't he? And Guillem Balaguer and him were doing that interview, and he was talking about what English teams do you watch. He watches Liverpool all the time. He used to have a TV set up in his garden watching Liverpool, wishing he played for Jurgen Klopp. And that's part of the reason why Thiago actually came to Liverpool. And we was at that time in our period, and we didn't sign anyone. So it was like, okay, we didn't sign anyone after the Champions League. We're never going to get higher than this. We just finished on 97 points to Man City. We finished on 98, finished a point behind, won the Champions League. We really should have won the Premier League that year, in my opinion, still. I think we should have won the Premier League and Champions League double that year. And you think, all right, we're probably the strongest we're ever going to be. Let's get one or two people in this summer to go for the Premier League next year. But Klopp and the owners were like, no, let's just keep how we're going. Fair enough. Can't say they were wrong at it because we won the Premier League the year after. So the year after we win the Premier League. And after we won the Premier League, everyone, I don't know a Liverpool fan who weren't on cloud nine. We was all on cloud nine. We've just watched for 2 seasons some of the best football we'll probably go watch in our lifetime. I'm 41. I started supporting Liverpool when I was 10 years old. So, that's back in 89, yeah? 1989, right? I started like John Barnes and Ray Houghton, Steve McMahon, Alan Hattinson, Gillespie, Grobbelaar, Beardsley, Rush, Aldridge. That's my era when I started first watching Liverpool Football Club. And I've not seen a team like that since till Klopp came into Liverpool. We won that Champions League and Premier League. Some of the best football I've ever seen play. We are destroying teams left, right and centre. There's a massive fear factor against Liverpool. I'm watching Liverpool versus Man City games, which are arguably now, for me, at that time, the biggest game in European football was Man City Liverpool in them years. It was just epic. Pac-Man will probably agree. They were just epic encounters. Sometimes City beat us, sometimes we beat them, sometimes it was a draw. But it was quality football, and they took a league. Liverpool and Man City took this league to heights no one else has seen, all right? You know, Liverpool and City finishing on 98 and 97 points in one season. You know, and then even last season, Liverpool and Man City finishing on 90 plus points together, pushing each other for titles. It's an absolute madness what these two teams did. And I'm watching that and thinking, right, Liverpool at the highest power possible now. We just won the Premier League and Champions League, some of the best football I've seen for 2 seasons. We're an incredible side. Let's go and defend our title. And we bought in that summer Tsimikas as a number 2 left back, which we're all happy with as a fan base because we've been asking for cover for Robbo for about 2 seasons now. So we got cover in for Robbo, Tsimikas as a left back. Happy with that. £11 million well spent. Then we went and got Thiago, and who weren't happy with the signing of Thiago? Liverpool Football Club went and bought Thiago. We won the Premier League, and the summer after we won the Premier League, we went and bought Thiago. How can you not be happy with that kind of business? And then 24 hours later, we went and bought Diogo Jota from absolutely nowhere. You know, that name never came up in transfers ever. When we were doing transfers in the summer, Jota's name never came up. It was all about Thiago that summer. I remember that whole summer going, will Liverpool buy Thiago? Will Thiago happen? Then people like Paul Joyce and that came out and said, no, Thiago's definitely not going to happen now. Liverpool moved on. And then like a few days later, Liverpool just bought Thiago. You know, madness, absolute madness. And then Jota, no one thought Jota was coming to his football. No one thought of it because it was after Timo Werner. Timo Werner was the striker that Liverpool were after, was the attacker Liverpool were after all summer. You know, Klopp spoke about it. You know, the media spoke about it. Paul Joyce was tweeting that Liverpool are very interested in Werner. A deal was very close. Klopp's already spoke to him on video calls and stuff like that, and it's like, wow, this deal's going to actually happen. Timo Werner at Liverpool could be all right, you know. And then that deal collapsed, and we was like, why is that deal collapsed? Look, we just won the Premier League. Yeah, we got a left back in. Yeah, we got a left back in, and we got Thiago in. That's all cool, but we probably need 1 or 2 more to keep this going. How come to drop the ball on Werner? And then you hear, oh, Chelsea, he's going to Chelsea. And you're like, oh, for goodness sake. That's us being penny pinching again, right? Because Chelsea gave him more wages. That's how you look at it. Chelsea gave him far more wages. And we're like, oh, for goodness sake. So what we going to do now? And then like an hour or so later, I remember doing it. An hour or so later on Twitter, you see, oh, Liverpool go buy Diogo Jota. So where did that come from? Like literally. So was the Werner thing a smokescreen the whole time for us to get Diogo Jota? So we went and got Diogo Jota, who was on far less wage than Werner. And in his first season compared to Werner, Jota was more of a success, in my opinion. Now, so we got them 3 players in that summer. We know what happened to our team. We got destroyed by injuries. We couldn't defend our title. We ended up finishing 3rd. And then from that season to this season we're at now, we've hardly bought anyone. And this is where I'm going FSG out from now on, guys. This is where I am solely FSG out. This is now an FSG out channel. Yeah? This is an FSG out channel. Yes, I will still be going at Klopp if he's making mistakes. No doubt about it. I'm not all of a sudden going to wear my Jurgen Klopp outfit and be like, yeah, I'm Jurgen Klopp's best friend all of a sudden. No, Klopp still made mistakes this season. We're going to chat about it. But this is FSG are the main source of everyone's hatred at the moment. And they need to leave this football club ASAP. But this is where I stand now. So from that defence of our Premier League title, where it all went wrong, and after that season to this season right now, Liverpool have hardly bought anyone. Absolutely no one. And it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Now, yeah, we got Kanate, and so I remember that January, Klopp was doing his nut, and it's the only time really, if you go back to that January when we lost all our defenders, Right? No Van Dijk, no Matip, no Joe Gomez. Our 3 best defenders have gone out injured. Done for the whole season. And Klopp that January basically pleaded in a press conference and really had a go at the owners about bringing a defender in. Yeah. Now, the defender Jurgen Klopp wanted was, because I know a lot of people going, oh, there's collector car and, you know, all these players available. Why can't Liverpool go for him? Well, firstly, collector car's terrible. So I'm glad Liverpool never went for him. I remember Liverpool fans going, oh, that collector car, what a player he is. What a centre-back he is. He's absolute dog shit. He's terrible. Yeah, average. I'm glad we never went for him. The only other one was was Botman, who's at Newcastle right now. Now, Botman looks like a quality centre-back, so maybe we did miss the boat on him. But the defender that Jurgen Klopp wanted was Konate, Ibu Konate. All right? We couldn't buy Konate because Konate had it in his contract that he couldn't leave Leipzig in January to another team in the Champions League if Leipzig are still in the Champions League. So we couldn't buy anyone. Klopp made it obvious that he wanted him, but Klopp was angry that we just didn't somehow go and get the Leipzig deal done. Like offer, I think what Klopp wanted was the owners to offer Leipzig far more money than his release clause to get Konate that January. I think that's what he wanted. And it never happened. So, but that's why, as soon as the transfer market opened that summer, the first day it opened, Liverpool had the Konate deal done straight away. But Konate was our only transfer that summer. Literally our only transfer that summer. You got Jordan Henderson, who was getting older still. You got Milner, who's getting older. Fabinho, who's been working his butt off in Liverpool's main DM now for 3 years. You got Thiago there now, who keeps getting injuries, right? And you could see there was an issue coming, right? And we just got Konate in. Now, look, last season was an epic season for Liverpool Football Club. We tried to win every trophy possible. We only ended up with the League Cup and the FA Cup. We got to a Champions League final and took Man City to the final day of the season, which in its own right is an amazing achievement, yeah? It's an amazing achievement. It was a great year, right? It was a tremendous year. So then you go, right, what are we going to do this summer? Obviously, last January, we went and got Luis Diaz in. Bringing Luis Diaz in last January was a stroke of genius. It was great because Luis Diaz actually helped us go another gear coming towards the end of the season. He was that little bit of magic going towards the end of the season that Liverpool needed to carry on the run. And that was a great bit of business. And then in the summer, you're like, right, what are we going to do this summer? To carry this on? We can see that Milner's tiring, Hendo's tiring, Thiago's got injury issues, Oxlade-Chamberlain's never available, Naby Keita's never available. You know, what we going to do? So Liverpool apparently in for Tchouaméni last summer. Could Liverpool get Tchouaméni? We tried, and eventually... I blame all this on Mbappe, by the way. I blame everything on Mbappe. If Mbappe weren't selfish and actually went to Real Madrid, we'd have Tchouaméni, and there'd be not as many problems as there is now. So I blame it all. I blame everything on the selfishness of Mbappe. Why couldn't you just gone to Real Madrid that summer? They wouldn't have turned their attentions to Tchouaméni, but you just had the stuff. I blame him. I blame Mbappe entirely. It's his fault. But no, Mbappe, look, he obviously stayed at PSG, and Real Madrid took their advantage and went for Tchouaméni. They knew that Monaco knew that Real Madrid had buckets of money because they're trying to get Mbappe. So in the end, the deal was so high for Tchouaméni. You know, it was quite like 80 million euros or something like that. That he went to Real Madrid. And Liverpool tried to get Jude Bellingham. That was their number 2 choice. And this is where we come to now. Liverpool tried to get Jude Bellingham. Borussia Dortmund told Liverpool, no, he's not available this summer. Come back next summer. So what did we do as a football club? Well, this is where it all went mad. So Jurgen Klopp went and done an interview with the Anfield Rap. Big up the Anfield Rap, by the way. This ain't no dig on them. They're a great channel. Right? Jurgen Klopp went on the Anfield Rap. They were interviewing Jurgen Klopp about everything and talking about the midfield situation. You know, you try to get Tuchel, you try to get Bellingham. There's no midfielder coming in. Are you happy with your squad? Then Jurgen Klopp went through the whole midfield one by one, player by player by player by player, and basically said, tell me who's better and what I need differently. And all us Liverpool fans immediately went like, oh. Because as soon as he said that, we knew for a fact we weren't buying anyone else in. As soon as he started listing off, I've got Milner, I've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, I've got Naby Keita, I've got Jordan Henderson, I've got Thiago, I've got young Harvey Elliott, I've got Fabinho. And he's basically saying I've got totally different qualities in midfield. Tell me what I need that's better than them guys. And I know what he's saying. I mean, he was wrong. Klopp's admitted he was wrong. But I know what he was saying because them guys won him. That midfield basically won the Premier League and Champions League. And we went to every competition and almost won a quadruple the season before with these same players. So what he's saying is these same players have won Premier League and Champions League and almost completed football the year before. So why shouldn't I trust them again next season? What midfielders are going to come in and do better than what they did last season? It's impossible. So, but as soon as he said that, we was like, oh God, that means no one's coming in. Simple as that. No Liverpool. No, we're not spending anything on the midfielder. Then I remember doing the right. This is where it goes to this season now, right? This is where I'm starting to get annoyed, right? And my annoyance started to go up a little bit in pre-season. Now, when pre-season hit, I did a lot of videos during pre-season. Did a lot of transfer rumours, stories, and stuff like that on the channel. Go back on all the videos, you can see them. Then I did all the watch-alongs for every pre-season game, right? I think we had 4 pre-season games. I think we had like 2 or 3 out in Asia. And I'd done the pre-season games. I remember doing the pre-season game. The first one, we got absolutely annihilated by Man United. And I was going mad about it. And everyone was going, Jamie, calm down. It's only pre-season. And I'm going, no, there's something not quite right with this team. There's something not quite right with this team. None of them look fit. None of them, they all look heavy-legged. They all look overweight. There's a problem with this team. Then we played Crystal Palace, and I think we beat them. And then we had a few other, I think we played Leipzig and all that, and it was a terrible. Like, we played games, and I'm like, there's something wrong with this team. And I remember everyone coming onto the channel going, Jamie, it's only pre-season, don't worry. There's guys in the chat right now, I believe, were telling me, you know, Jamie, it's only pre-season, don't worry. When the real stuff starts, we'll be fine. Then we had the Community Shield game. Against Man City. And it was a great game of football, and we won that game. And I was like, okay, maybe everyone was right. Yeah, and then when I went back and looked at it, Man City only had 2 pre-season games, and they were basically using the Community Shield as a pre-season game. So we caught them cold. We literally caught them cold. And then we go to the first game of the season against Fulham, and it's like the worst football I've seen Liverpool play in like 3 years. And I was like, this is why I was worried. Because we got no one new in this team apart from Darwin Núñez. There's no one new in this team right now. You know, we went and bought a young Scottish fullback here from Aberdeen who's never played Premier League football. You know, and the only new player we've got is Darwin Núñez. There's no one new in this team. There's no freshness. There's no freshness in this side right now. And we have a terrible result against Fulham. I'm like, well, let's put that, you know, that was an away game against Fulham. Fulham just got newly promoted. Let's just put it that Fulham were up for it was their cup final. It's Liverpool in their first game back in the Premier League at home. It's their cup final. Right, these results can happen. Let's move on. We got Crystal Palace at home in our second game. We're going to annihilate them. No, we didn't. It was terrible. It was awful. And obviously Darwin Núñez got sent off in that game. And he's like, what has happened to our football club? What has happened in the weeks past? Only like 6 weeks before, we were competing in a Champions League final against Real Madrid, and now we're struggling against Fulham and Crystal Palace, and we look slow, we look dejected, we look tired. There's no freshness in the team. And then you've got to go back and look who's to blame for that. Now, that's this season. This season, it's a mixture of blame on Jurgen Klopp and FSG. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Uh, uh, Jurgen Klopp made the point of, what midfielders do we want? He went on a massive YouTube platform in the Anfield Wrap that he will get a lot of, it will go viral. A lot of people will be watching that. There's clips of it up all the time. You go and find clips of this up on Twitter, on YouTube. It's everywhere. You can still find this clip now. Yeah. Everyone's seen it. And when he's naming his midfield players and who you can get in better, now what are you meant to do? What are you meant to do? So Klopp was at fault. The Anfield crap. I think we can all agree Liverpool were at fault for what happened in the summer, and Jurgen Klopp was at fault as well. When you're naming all these players, or when you're saying I've got Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and James Milner and Jordan Henderson, who else can I get that makes that better? Quite a lot. quite a lot, Jurgen. In fact, you can get probably quite a lot of players that make that better, son. So yeah, he messed up. Klopp messed up. Right? He effed up. Yeah, to say it. He messed up big time, right? But then the owners. Now, Klopp is at fault, but put Klopp to one side a minute. The owners should then go, yes, Jurgen, we understand that you've got a midfield that you're happy with, right? We understand you've got a midfield you're happy with, but here you go. We're going to go and buy you Caicedo. And no real Liverpool fan, no one really knew who Caicedo was at the beginning of this season. Before the season started, not a lot of people really knew who Caicedo was because I don't think he played. I think he only played 1 or 2 games for Brighton before last season, before this season. So he hasn't played many games for Brighton, Caicedo. And Liverpool could have gone, right, and Klopp could have gone, but he won't get in my team. I don't need him right now. What's the point of wasting money on someone like him when he's not going to get in my team? But the owners should be strong enough. And not just the owners. Julian Ward should be strong enough. Julian Ward should be going, no, Jurgen, listen, I am the sporting director here. My job is to make sure this team functions. Yeah. So we need players coming in. We're doing all the research. We're doing all the data research, the data analysis right now on players. And the players we got right now are coming to the end of their cycle. Yes, you might love them. You don't want them to leave. That is fine. But we need some fresh legs in this squad. Maybe for not this season. Maybe they're for next season. But let's get them in the door now while we can. So the owners and Julian Ward should have really gone to Klopp. No, listen, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get someone like a Caicedo in for 30 million back then. You could have probably got Caicedo for like 30 million back like in the summer, last summer. All right? And gone, right, he might not get in your team this season. Keep him in the squad. Keep him training. See what you feel like. I bet you he comes in handy during the season. And that's what we should have been doing. We should have been looking at players. Even though Klopp said, no, I don't want this player. No, I don't want that player. No, I don't want that player. It always has to be the right player. I don't know what the right player is. This is the thing that annoys me about his football club right now. The right player. Can anyone tell me right now, what does Jurgen Klopp and this club mean by right player? Because I don't just think it's Jurgen on his own. I think the owners and all that are the same. What is the right player? Literally, what is the right player? Because we got a midfield this season of Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita. They're all injury prone. None of them can stay fit. None of them are reliable. So who's the right player? Literally, Tuchemeni was probably the right player that Liverpool attempted to get. And that's a big boy signing. So I'm happy with the club having that kind of ambition. Tuchemeni is the ambition Liverpool Football Club should be at. Right? That's the ambition Liverpool Football Club should be at, is Tuchemeni, right? And then they couldn't get him. Fair enough. He went to Real Madrid. Look, you lose players to Real Madrid, it's not the end of the world because it's Real Madrid. It's not like losing a player to Chelsea or Southampton or something like that. You'd be like, oh, that's a bit piss poor. If you lose a player to Real Madrid, it's Real Madrid at the end of the day. They're a huge, huge team, right? Massive side, biggest team, the biggest team in world football, without a shadow of a doubt. They'll probably go win the Champions League again this year. They're just incredible, right? So you lost to Tuchemani team. It's not the end of the world. You move on. You have to have other targets in place. And this is my problem with football club. Your number one target in the summer transfer windows cannot be your only target. You should be doing your data and you should be doing your work. You should be like, right, Tuchemani is our number one summer target last summer, yeah? Going back last summer. They should be putting all this in the data analyst. Right, Tuchemani is our main target. But if Tuchemani is not attainable or we can't get him because of the calibre of player he is, he's a massive marquee player that's got a lot of eyes on him in Europe at the moment. If we can't get him, what's the alternatives that we should be looking at? So if we can't get Tuchemani, we go, bang, we've already got someone lined up, and a couple of hours later, we can do the deal. That's how this club should be running. That's how a proper club runs. And we don't run like that right now. So we couldn't get Tuchemani. All right, Tuchemani went Real Madrid, and we're all like, the club's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Get on the computer. All right, what players are available? Oh, it's too late now. We're in the summer. You know, this is all, we're in July at the moment. Like, you know, the season's going to start in 5 weeks, you know, and we haven't got time now. And this is the problem. We never had time. We never had the time to find an alternative to Tuchemani in the summer because they didn't do their work properly. You know, when the job has to be done, it's Tuchemani. Can't get him because he's such a high caliber player with eyes on him right now. Yeah. So you should know that in the background. You shouldn't be thick enough to go, right, oh, we're the only ones in for Tuchemani. We'll get him easy. No other. There ain't any other options. Don't worry about it, guys. We don't need any other options because Tuchemani is the easy. We'll get him easy. That's just mind-bogglingly thick if we're thinking like that. And then it looked like to me, and it looked like to probably all you guys in the chat, that we scrambled around looking for a player we couldn't get because we only have 5 weeks till the season started. How the hell we go buy a player in? You know, it takes time to do deals. You know, transfer deal. Everyone thinks transfer deals are done like that. It actually takes quite a long time behind the scenes, and we never had the time. And that's why we got Arthur Melo in on loan because Juventus didn't want him. And the reason Juventus were happy to let him go because Juventus knew what was going to happen in the future with everything that was going on at Juventus at the moment with their, you know, their corruption and all that sort of stuff and everything that's going on at Juventus, allegedly. And so Juventus knew about that already. So they had to get players gone that came into that transfer window when this stuff was hanging over their head. So they were happy to let Arthur Melo go. You know, Arthur Melo can go. Yeah, you want him on loan? No worries. Take him. You know, it was easy. Juventus didn't give a shit. And we're like, oh, Arthur Melo. Look, Arthur Melo, to his fairness, if we got a fit Arthur Melo in the team who had been match fit and at the top of his game, Arthur Melo would have been a decent signing because Arthur Melo is actually a decent footballer. I actually don't know why we're not using him now. I literally don't know why we're not using Arthur Melo now. But he's a decent footballer. But he came injured. We needed a midfielder. And this club went and bought an injured midfielder. You can't make this crap up. We needed a midfielder that was reliable and didn't, you know, could come straight into our team, break up the midfield three and do bits, yeah? And we went and bought an injured midfielder. That tells you everything about this football club. And that tells you that Liverpool never had a plan B in the summer, which is disgusting. How did Liverpool not have a plan B in the summer? Tells you it all. Arthur Melo weren't plan B. Arthur Melo was plan Z. He weren't plan B. We're scraping around seeing what's available. Liverpool Football Club. Let me put that to you again, guys. Liverpool Football Club was scraping around Europe to see what midfielder was available. Do you know how disgusting that is for a club this size? You know how terrible that is. I'll get some of your chats in a minute, guys. No, that's not a Tenant Super. Could you imagine I was drinking Tenant Super on the... Is that a Guinness, Jamie? I wish. And that tells me everything bad. It tells me Liverpool are panicking. They didn't know what to do. It's also an admittance from the manager that he messed up as well. That's why this summer I blame not just the owners. I blame Jurgen Klopp as well. Yeah, the owners have got the majority of blame. I blame the owners 70%, and 30% is blamed on Jurgen. There's no doubt about that, right? No doubt about that. I think most Liverpool YouTubers that I talk to agree with that. Most people in the chat right now, there's 214 people in the chat right now, will probably agree with it. Let me know in the chat right now, guys. So the summer just gone, right? The summer just gone. Give me a percentage of who's to blame more. I'm going 70% FSG, 30% Jurgen Klopp for the summer gone, this last summer. Let me know who's at fault the most in percentage-wise in the chat. Go for it, guys. Let me know. I'd like to know. But yeah, there was blame. There's blame on the whole club. The whole club is a mess right now. And what's happened is we are now 12 months behind. So we obviously know in the last few days the whole Jude Bellingham thing's blown up, yeah? The whole Jude Bellingham thing's blown up. We put everything behind Jude Bellingham for 12, probably 18 months, yeah? Liverpool have always been close to Jude Bellingham, and we messed up. We're now a year behind everyone else in the Premier League. We're a year behind Newcastle. We're a year behind Man United. We're a year behind Man City. We're a year behind Arsenal. Where did we fall behind Arsenal so badly? That's what I'm going to get to in a minute. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because for me, this is what's messed up about everything. Let me get some of your chats, what you're saying here. 50-50. This summer, then winter, then summer, says Tom. Big up Chelsea, man. We are mudded. But Chelsea, I mean, come on. Chelsea are just as bad. K 50-50. Hifu saying Klopp. James 50-50. Menzel saying 50-50. Douglas saying all FSG. Colin saying Klopp was too loyal. He was. 50-50 because it has been a problem since 2019. We're 3 years behind. In our piece, it's 50-50. Captain Sales 50-50. Matt says, yeah, Jurgen should be putting some pressure on FSG to help him out, but he bends over and takes it. Yeah. Big up Ensman saying 60% Klopp, 40% FSG. Big up Ensman, my man. Guys, don't forget to go and subscribe to my man right there. Go and subscribe to Ensman. It's my right-hand man yesterday on an excellent, and I mean this, an excellent call-in show we had yesterday. Fantastic call-in show. Wednesday nights is the place to come now for call-in shows, guys. You know, Wednesday night for call-in shows, and Ensman, big up to you. Go and subscribe to his channel. I think he went over the 600 mark from yesterday. So big up, Ensman. Here's to you, my friend. Here's to you. Congratulations to you, my friend. Bailey saying Klopp 40, FSG 60. Jen saying 90% FSG, 10% Jurgen, 5% Pep. 50-50. Big up Red Scat in the house. How you doing, Red Scat? Bruno says 75% FSG, 25% Klopp. Big up Bruno. Much love to Bruno as always. 60-40 Klopp. FSG lucky they got Klopp. He should threaten to walk out. I agree with that, Tom. 8% FSG, 20% Klopp. So this is where it was so split as a fan base. 70-30. Jurgen was stubborn, but when he realised like the best they could get him was an injured Arthur. It's amazing, guys. It's absolutely amazing. Like, we all agree. Andy's gone 95% FSG, 20% recruitment team, and 80% Klopp. We all agree that Klopp does take some blame. We do agree that Klopp takes some blame. Big up Fozzie as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to Fozzie's channel as well, guys. Great Liverpool YouTuber as well. Go and give him some love as well. I'm St. Carol, the dinner lady. The players are overweight. Batman's out. I think you're exactly where you need to be. Big up Batman. Batman, resident The EFAM. Liverpool last year made third most profits in TV and conclusion at 706 million. I saw it on Blood Red, took it up. We made over 700 million profit. That they can't spend 120 million on Bellingham. What the F? We didn't make that in profit. Our profit was 15 million, my friend. This is where the problem comes in. Yes, on the Deloitte league, we are the third highest in world football for commercial revenue. Somehow City are second. I mean, and then Real Madrid are obviously first. You know, if anyone's above Real Madrid, you have to question the liability of it because let's face it, Real Madrid. But we were third in that list, yeah, of commercial revenue, the amount of revenue this football club brought into in that year before. But we actually only made 15 million in profit. Put it this way, Brighton made 3 times the profit we did last year. Brighton Football Club made 3 times the profit, or 2 times the profit, something like that. I think they made 40-odd million pound profit, something like that. Brighton made more profit than Liverpool did last year, but we brought in the third most revenue in world football. Something's not right. Something is not right in them figures. How do we only make 15 million pound profit? Why is there so much spent on outgoings at this football club? Who's in charge of our football club? Kim Kardashian. Why is there so many outgoings in our football club? Why are we making no profit? Someone's got the MasterCard and he's just going shopping. No profit FC. This is mad. It's absolutely mad. How we got no profit? Big up, Ends, man. Big up, Jane. Thanks for the show. That was cold yesterday. Great conversations on the callers. Looking forward to the next show. Big up, Ends. Ends, if you want to come on and be my right-hand man every Wednesday night, you're welcome to, Ends. I'll talk to you about that after if you want. Red wine. FSG taking money out of the back door. That's why, probably. Well, we can't legally say that because it hasn't been proved yet. So, like with the Glazers, we know they pay dividends to themselves. They take money out of the football club and pay themselves. With FSG, we don't know that to be the case yet because it's never been proven. It's never been put. Look, when they do their reports, when they do their annual reports that we can all read every year, you can go and read the reports of this football club. They're there in black and white. It's never there. And if they are doing it, then they're doing it illegally because they're not putting it on their annual tax reports. If it's not on the annual tax reports that they're taking money out of the football club to pay their sales like dividends or whatever like that, it needs to be put in black and white on the paperwork. So if they're not doing that, it's illegal. So I'm not sure if they are. But too much money goes out of this football club. We made 15 million pound profit, guys. It's ridiculous. How can we only make 15 million pound profit? We need to sell better as well. The money's going into Linda Silicone. We need to sell as well. When was the last time we sold players properly as well, guys? Like literally, when was the last time we sold players properly? We don't sell anyone anymore. We sold Mane for 20-odd million pounds. Sadio Mane left our football club to 20-odd million pounds. That was a disgrace. That should never have happened. Sadio Mane, I know he had 1 year left on his deal, but it's Sadio Mane, for goodness sake. He should have at least gone for 40. We let him go for 20-odd million. It was a joke. Yes, I know it's because what we did to Bayern Munich with Thiago, and it come back to bite us on the butt. You know, getting Thiago cheap because of his last year of his deal. But difference is, this is Sadio Mane, a goal scorer, a player who can win games on his own. And we let him go for 20-odd million pounds. That is a disgrace. An absolute. I don't think Michael Edwards would have let Mane go for that cheap. I'm telling you right now. There is no way in hell, if Michael Edwards was sporting director, Sadio Mane would have gone for that cheap. Yeah, see, look, Gory's saying it there. Mane went for 20 and Chelsea wanted 70 million for Mount. It tells you everything, don't it? You might as well have. Ends is right. Ends is right. You might as well, for that price of money, you might as well just kept him and let him go for free. You're right, because what's 20 million for Mane? You might as well just keep him. You might as well just keep him. It's just a madness. It's an absolute madness. And, you know, players that are leaving our football club, look at the players that are going to leave this football club in this summer. They're all players that have come to the end of their contracts or freebies. Bobby Firmino, not signing a new deal. He's going to leave. We're not pushing him out the door. If Bobby Firmino wanted to sign a new contract, Bobby Firmino would stay at his football club. There's no effort from Liverpool to push him out the door. I actually believe, and Naby Keita has been offered contracts, guys. People might not like this, yeah? But Naby Keita has been offered contracts. Naby Keita has rejected every single contract Liverpool have offered him because Naby Keita wants a bigger deal, right? And Liverpool are like, look, son, you're injured all the time. You know, this is the deal, man. And he didn't accept it. So Liverpool weren't even pushing Naby Keita out the door. We weren't looking to push Naby Keita out the door. We're looking to hold on to his services. Do you know how mad that is? That you want to keep hold of his services. So why? So because of that, he didn't sign a new deal. We're letting him go for free. So Naby Keita was not pushed out the door. Oxlade-Chamberlain was probably pushed out the door a little bit. But, you know, we're not actively looking to get rid of players. Big up, my friend here, Strasbourg Steve. Big up, bro. I like your channel a lot, even as a Newcastle fan. Glad I could watch you live. Big up to you, my man. I think you just followed me on Twitter as well, and I followed you back. So big up to you, my man. Yeah. Jamie wasn't Casemiro, same age, game for 75 million. What, the Mane thing? Yeah, exactly. It's madness. What has happened to our football? We used to sell so well. We used to sell people for good money. We got 20 million. We got like 25 million for Dominic Solanke. I mean, I remember when that deal happened, everyone was like, how did we do that? Michael Edwards must be a genius. Because how we got 25 million for Solanke? Didn't Brewster go to Sheffield United for 20 million? Brewster never really played a game for Liverpool. And he went for 20 million. We conned the world. And everyone's like, how did he do that? Again, another genius move. We made 45 million. Guys, let me tell you this right now. Let me put it to you this simply, right? We made 45 million selling Dominic Solanke and Ryan Brewster, right? Two crap players, average Championship League One level footballers, yeah? Right? We sold for a combination of 45 million, but we sold Sadio Mane, who at his peak was arguably one of the best left wingers in world football, for 20 odd million. What's happened to our football club? What the hell has happened to our football club? That's a madness. It's an absolute madness. Because everyone now realised we're selling duds. But you look at other teams across the country, they're selling duds as well. You know, duds have got to be sold. But now we're not doing anything about it. Like, we got players at this club that could have left. Does anyone think Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita should still be at Liverpool in 2023? Why weren't they sold 2 years ago? Big up my man Steve again with another super chat. You also got good dollar for Jordan Ive of Bournemouth as well. Yeah, big up to you. Yeah, Ive going to Bournemouth as well. Big up the super chat, my friend. Ive going to Bournemouth as well. Got good money for. Oh, do you remember them Liverpool fans that said, "Oh, it don't matter about Sterling go"? No, it was John Aldridge, don't it? It was John Aldridge. Do you remember when John Aldridge went? It don't matter about Sterling going to Man City because we got Jordan Ive. I was like, for goodness sake. Does everyone remember when John Aldridge said that? I was like, no, please don't say that ever again. It's like, stop. This is why fans hate us. We surely have got to start looking at getting rid of players better. Jordan Henderson is never going to leave this football club, right? Look, I love Jordan Henderson. His book's behind me, as you can see. I'm not going to slag Jordan Henderson off like that, but Jordan's been at his football club for so long now that it's time for him to move on. I don't know what else Jordan Henderson can still give us as a footballer next season. Tell me, guys. Someone tell me. Ends, I agree with you, man. Someone tell me what Jordan Henderson can give Liverpool Football Club next season. I want someone to tell me in the chat right now. What is Jordan Henderson going to give us next season as a player for Liverpool Football Club? Because I don't know. Why are we keeping players so long? Why are we not letting players go? Let's start releasing players. You know, we keep players for so long. It's, you know, why have we kept them? I don't get it. James Milner. We're not actively trying to push James Milner out the door, guys. Someone said blowjob. Mac. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're not actively looking to push James Milner out the door. We're still trying to give him a new deal. By the look of it, James Milner is going to leave the football club. But it ain't because we don't want him to stay. This football club want James Milner to stay at this football club at 38 years of age. We're like, no, let's give a 38-year-old a new deal. I like James Milner. I've gone on record and said, if I had to keep one of Milner and Henderson, and you had to make a choice, and you couldn't let both go, I'd keep Milner over Henderson. I've said that many times. I think Milner's a better footballer, plus Milner's versatile. Henderson is not versatile. I keep getting sick and tired when I hear this. I hear this all the time from fans. Is that Hendo will be the Milner next season when Milner leaves? So no, he won't. No, he won't, because Milner's not versatile. Milner can't play right back. Henderson can't play right back. Sorry, Henderson can barely play midfield. What are we talking about here? Henderson is not versatile like Milner. Plus, Milner is a better footballer. I don't care. People might not like this, but it's true. Milner is a better footballer. And Hendo is not going to be the new Milner. He's just not. What, you're going to bring Milner on as a right back just in case like Trent's having a bad time? We've got no other right back on the bench. What's Klopp going to look to? He's going to look at Milner. Right, bring Milner on, put him at right back for 20 minutes. And Milner will do your job for 20 minutes, yeah? Do I like that idea? No. But he will do a job. And I actually like, Milner's coming on. Okay. If you imagine going to the bench next season and going, right, damn it, Trent's just got injured. We're going to have a right back on the bench. Hendo, you're going to have to play right back. I'll be like, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, good God. Because he can't do it. He can't do it. And this is no disrespect to Jordan Henderson. He's not versatile like Milner is. So the fact that we're talking about, everyone's saying, Hendo doing the Milner role. I don't want no one doing a Milner role. I don't want anyone doing a Hendo role. I don't want anyone doing the Milner role next season. I want them doing their own role. I want us to go, right, we're buying Alex McAllister in because he's got to do an Alex McAllister role. He's his own boy. He's in his young 20s as a superstar. I want to do someone who does the Caicedo role. Oh, guess what? We've got Caicedo to do the Caicedo role. I don't want us next season to go, we're going to do the Hendo role. We're going to do the Milner role. No, it's 2023, 2024 season. Can we move on eventually? Can we actually move on? It's ridiculous. What are we going to do? Are we going to put Hendo and Milner in the museum when they die? Is that what we're going to do? When Hendo and Milner die, are we going to put their bodies in the museum next to the Champions League and Premier League trophies? And you can just, when you pay your ticket to go to the Liverpool Museum in Anfield, you can go around it, and then they've got a special curtained off area. This is where you come in and go, and here's the preserved bodies of James Milner and Jordan Henderson, because we could never let them go. They mean too much to us because they won a Premier League and Champions League. We could never let them go. So here's the preserved bodies of Milner and Henderson. And they pull back the curtain like that, and they're like, oh my God, why have we got them here? You know, what are we doing here? Like, literally, what are we doing here? It's madness. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't know what. We need to let these players go, man. We need to start letting these players go. And it's just... It's a madness to me that we're going to go into next season. Hendo's still going to be at the football club. Fabinho. We look at Fabinho. Let's talk about Fabinho for a minute, guys. Let's talk about Fabinho for a minute. I think everyone on this channel, by the way, big up 192 people in here. You smashing it up, guys. Much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying the content. We've got 110 likes already. Let's try and get to 150 likes, guys. There's 192 beautiful people in here right now. Go and hit that fun button if you've not hit it already. Let's try and get to 150 likes. Big up to everyone here already. Much love. I will 1 second, Ends, because I've got it on my computer. I saw you sent me a message. I'll look at it in a sec. Big up, Ends. So everyone on here right now as well, I am FSG out. I can't say this anymore to every person who comments after the end of my videos. Guys, I love you commenting below at the end of my videos. I absolutely love it. I love going through your comments and seeing what you guys want to say. I really love it. But I get so many messages under there going, why don't you go F? Right, I'm FSG out. I can't tell people enough that I'm FSG out now. I want them gone. But Klopp also has to take blame. Can we just leave an underlying fact there? If Klopp comes back better next season and he does things, big up. I'm all for it. Beautiful. It's what I want him to do. I want him to do better. The man's on £15 million a year. Do better. Yeah? Simple. But FSG are the main cause. So for people commenting continuously on my video, I'm not going to keep saying it. Thank you very much. But let's go to this season, right? So next season, are we going to start playing? Like, is Hendo going to play every game next season, 23-24? Fabinho is 37 years old. He's a Peruvian. He's 37. The man's apparently from Brazil. The man's never been to Brazil in his life. I'm telling you right now. The only time Fabinho's ever been to Brazil is when he's flown over it to go back home somewhere else. To go somewhere else. To go to another country or something like that to play football. The man's never been in Brazil. He's not Brazilian. I'm not having this Fabinho as Brazilian anymore. He's lost his samba. The man has got no samba left. He needs to get his samba back. I don't know what's happened for Fabinho. Yes, he's probably played far too much football. Far too much football. And that is guaranteed. Fabinho, the amount of football Fabinho has played, he's probably tired. But, I'd say this with a big but. He's 29. I'm 41 with 3 children, yeah? I am less tired than Fabinho. I am a 41-year-old man with 3 young children that we have to run around for 24 hours a day, that stay up all night, barely sleep, and you're like, I've got more energy and more about me than a 29-year-old Fabinho right now. That is an issue. That's an issue. It is a massive issue. Why is he so tired at 29? You know, yes, he's played a lot of games. Modric plays more football than Fabinho, and Fabinho and Modric is 37 years of age. Modric looks more fresh and younger than Fabinho does. I saw Modric killing Chelsea yesterday at 37, and I've got a 29-year-old Fabinho here now who just walks around like hunched over and it's like, like that. Like, what is going on? What is going on? I think Enz has got it right. Fabinho needs to go home to Brazil. He needs to go home to Brazil in the summer and find his samba again. You know what it's like? You remember when Austin Powers lost his his mojo or whatever it was? You know that film when Austin Powers lost his is it his mojo or something like that? He lost, yeah, and you need to go and get it back to be Austin Powers again, yeah. That's what Fabinho needs to do. Fabinho needs to go back to Brazil and find his samba. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go back to Brazil and find his samba, yeah. He needs to go and find it, man. Go and find your mojo like Austin Powers did, yeah. Go and have a long Go and have a long summer holiday in Brazil. Just you and Linda, wherever you, Rebecca, whatever your name, wife's name is. with the kids. Go and chill. Go and get in your Brazilian mood again. I'll tell you what you need to do, Fabinho. Has Fabinho been baptised yet by Alisson? Because Alisson has baptised every other Brazilian footballer in our team. But I don't think he's baptised Fabinho yet. He needs to be baptised. So, Alisson, if you're watching this, go and get Fabinho in the middle of the night, break into his house, kidnap him, put him in the back of your Rolls Royce, drive him somewhere, and baptise the shit out of him. Right? Because you baptised every other Brazilian in our club. Go and baptise Fabinho. Yeah, maybe that's what he needs. Maybe Fabinho needs a good baptising. Right? Casemiro's looking fresh. Casemiro is older than Fabinho, and Casemiro has played more football, as much football as Fabinho has done. No, we just need. I don't know what we're going to do with him. What do we do with? Oh God, he's great. What do we do with Fabinho next season, guys? Let me know in the chat right now. Would you keep Fabinho or would you sell him? I want to see it right now in the chat. One word: keep or sell for Fabinho. Let me know in the chat right now. Keep or sell. Because I don't think he's going to ever get better. Is Fabinho capable of having good games? Yeah. Fabinho will still be capable of the odd good game here and there. And we'll all be saying it. Oh, look, he looks quality a day. Fabinho's had a quality game. And we were like, yeah, Fabinho had a quality game because he is capable of it. This ain't a footballer who's crap, by the way. We know the high standards Fabinho's got. We've all watched it. He was arguably one of the best DMs in world football a couple of years ago. Right? So we know his standards are up here. When Fabinho's at his best, he's up there standard-wise. Right now, he's not. And I don't know if he can ever get to that standard again. But he's going to have the odd game where he's playing at that standard. You're like, oh, see, Jamie, Fabinho had a quality game. I'll be like, yeah, he did. Because Fabinho can play at that standard. But let's see if he does it next week. And then next week, he's got Patricia from catering running past him in midfield. You're like, well, there you go. There's Fabinho's back again. So do we stay with that? With the fact that Fabinho will have the odd good game next season, but also at the same time next season, he's probably going to get run past by Patricia from catering. All right, what do we do with him? Let me know, guys, in the chat. Let me know. Fozzie says sell. Sell him for parts, says Corey. Sell him for parts, like a droid. Like a droid. Kay says sell. Hamza says sell. Tom says sell. N says keep. So it says sell. Keep, but bring Rice in or something. Sell. Sell as sad as it makes me. Sell. Tally-ho. Black Hammer, sell. Jen, sell. Keep him as backup. He needs a rest. I don't believe he's 29, says Colin. He was the one. Replace him. FSG's net worth when they brought Liverpool FC was 2.8 billion. Now it's worth 8 billion. Say no more. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Sell. Keep Fab playing at right back. Right. I've heard a lot of people say this about Fabinho playing right back. He can play right back because that's where he started his career. I believe he got a Brazilian cap playing right back as well. But my man can't run in midfield. Playing him right back might not be the greatest idea. Sell, says Danny. Keep. Sell. Check his passport for age. Sell. Keep. He's pulled too many stinkers. Sell. Keep, because I don't trust the efforts to replace him properly. That's a great point. We're going to get to that in a minute. Sell, he isn't good anymore. Big up Drew in the house. Anano, Rice, McAllister, Mane on a free once he gets kicked out. We're going to get to this Mane stuff in a minute as well. I'm going to talk about Mane. But a lot of them saying, like, sell him. A lot of the sell stuff there. The problem with Fabinho is that, as someone said there, I don't trust the owners at this moment in time replacing him properly. Now, I think Fabinho stays next season because I don't think we're after a number 6. I think we want like 2 number 8s. That's what Liverpool are going to be looking at. I'm hoping there's someone like... I personally think that Liverpool are going to probably get now Mason Mount and McAllister are probably the two midfielders Liverpool are looking at. Mason Mount and McAllister. So if that's the point, if we go by someone like Mason Mount and McAllister in our midfield, who, by the way, walk into our midfield, no matter what you guys think of Mason Mount walks into our midfield. He just does. No matter what people think of him. You know, I'm not his biggest fan. I know people don't like him at all. But unfortunately, our midfield is so dead right now. Mason Mount walks into it. McAllister easily walks into it. There's no doubt about that. And then you got Fabinho as your number 6. The only thing I can think of with Hendo and Fabinho that they will rotate that number 6 position maybe. And Stefan Bajcetic as well might rotate that number 6 position. So maybe Fabinho might not play as many games next season. That's something we might need to look at. If we're not going to replace him with a number 6, we're not looking at number 6s to come in, then we have to make sure that Hendo and Stefan Bajcetic stay fit and they rotate with Fabinho in the number 6 role. And then you use someone like a Thiago, a Mason Mount probably, or an Alex McAllister if he does come in. You know, these players around it. I don't know if Liverpool are actively looking for a number 6. I don't think they think there's a problem with Fabinho. I honestly think they think he just needs good rest. Let's see what his team is like next season. You know, we might be all freaking out right now, and this team just comes back next season out of nowhere. Who knows? Who knows? I just don't think that's the case. I think there's more to this than the team just being tired. I honestly do. I think the team's just not tired. There's more to it, but I mean, let's see. But Fabinho's a massive one. How many midfielders, guys? So our midfielders, right? Before let's talk about this Mane thing quickly. Let me just talk about this Mane thing quickly before I talk about the midfield again. So Sadio Mane has gone absolutely wild. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Mane. When he was at Liverpool, Mane was a peaceful man that sent money to Senegal to build new villages and stuff like that, and hospitals and schools and all that. He was a peaceful man. He was a great man. He went to Germany, and Sadio Mane's like, I've had enough of being peaceful. Let's bring the violence. So he apparently had a pop at his former manager. Yeah, he apparently had a pop at his former manager, and people apparently didn't believe them rumours to be true. But by the sounds of it, them rumours were true. So he had a pop at his former manager, and then he had a pop at Sane the other day. Punching Sane in the face. Apparently, Sane's got a bruise on his face where he can prove it. So, Mane's just decided to go, you know what? I don't want to be peaceful anymore. I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm just going to beat people. I just go, yeah. You see Nagelsmann? Fuck you. I'll have you. Sane, you see you? F you. I'll have you. So this ain't the Mane I know. I like this Mane. Super violent Mane. What's he doing? What is Sadio doing? I love it, man. I love it. I like that's like go for it. Mane is now apparently going to leave Bayern Munich. So the rumours are today is that Sane has a face you want to punch. To be fair. So as Mane, they say, Sane hit him back. I'd hope so. To be fair, if I got hit by another grown man, I'm not going to stand there and take it. I'm going to slap back. You know what I mean? So I'm picturing now that Sane and Mane just went at it in the changing room. Like, come on, you fucker. Right? Like, they're just going at it in the changing room, yeah? Mane's ducking and weaving. Sane trying to go with a jab, and he's like, whoa, Mane's dancing around him, picking him off. You know what I mean? Just picking him off in the change room. And everyone around, all the Bayern Munich players are just around in a big circle going, fight. This is what I'm hoping happened, because this would be beautiful. This would be beautiful if this is what happened. Yeah? And Mane's just ducking, he's weaving. Sane can't get close. I'm going to think Mane's a beast. I reckon Mane's quite a good fighter, you know. He's solid. Yeah, he's solid. He's quite stocky. And he's ducking, he's weaving. And Sane's trying to get the jab, but Mane's out of reach all the time. And then he's cutting inside. Body shot. Like that. Just doing up Sane in the ribs. Oh. And all the Bayern Munich fans, they're just in there Fight. Tuchel's in the bogs. Tuchel ain't got a clue what's happening. He's in the toilets at the moment. And all you can hear in the background is like, what? I've only just got here. What is going on? Walks into the door. Sane's on the ground, falling on the floor. Mane's just standing over him like that, cussing at him. Just cussing at him. Right? And Tuchel's like, what's going on? That's how I reckon it was. That's how I picture it in my mind. That's the fight I want to see. Hopefully it weren't just like, you, because that would totally, I'd hate that. I'd hope it was a proper fight. Yeah, and he's just standing over him like, yeah, what you got to do about it now, bitch? Yeah, never call me anything ever again. You know who I am. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want my Sadio to do. That's what Mane's Bobby Lashley. Yeah, but Mane's a solid guy, man. I reckon Mane could go, you know. Sane's all lanky and skinny, but Mane's quite solid, quite thick. I reckon Mane, if he hits you, you're going to know about it. You know what I mean? He's getting his frustrations out. You know what Mane's doing? He's getting his frustrations out. You know who Mane sees when he's hitting Sane? He sees Mo Salah. That's what it is. Mane just sees Mo Salah in Sane. It's like, he wanted to get his frustrations out on Mo ever since that Bournemouth game. When they had that argument, when they came off, when Salah didn't pass to Mane. Mane's not forgot about it. Built up frustration. And he just saw, for a minute, he saw Salah instead of Sane. And he's like, ugh, and he just went for it. Got all his frustrations out. Bring Mane back, that's what I say. I'm going to say it right now. Bring Mane back to this football club. Yeah? He's going to leave. He's going to apparently leave Bayern Munich. Apparently, they're going to terminate his contract or something. That's what I'm hearing. If they terminate Mane's contract, bring him home. Yeah, I'd have him. Bobby Firmino's leaving. Who knows this Liverpool team more than Sadio Mane? Just bring him back. I reckon Mane could still do it. He doesn't have to be a squad. Mane could just be a squad player. As long as you go with Mane, you're not going to be a first teamer. Things have moved on since you left, but you got to be a squad player. I think Mane would come back in a heartbeat. Yeah, come back. You know, we told you it was shit over there. You didn't listen to us, Sadio. We tried to tell you it's shit over there. Come back. You come crying back. Yeah, and then you got Mane back in the squad. Bring him back. If he don't cost us anything, bring him back. That's what I say. If he doesn't cost anything, just bring him back. That's what I do. In fact, I'd rather have Mane back in the team than Jota right now. There you go. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now. Jota's pissing me off. 12 months without a goal. And I know people will say he's been injured. I've been on Transfer Market, guys. And you actually shows the amount of games he's actually played when he's fit. Yeah? The man he's played like, I think it was 32 games in that 12 months. And he hasn't scored in. Right? He hasn't scored. And I would rather have Mane over Jota in this team right now. Every day of the week. Mane's still quicker than Jota. He's still more agile than Jota. And he's got something in his locker that Jota ain't got. You know, that bit of unpredictability. You know, I'd have Mane back in his team over Jota every day of the week. You know, we can go and get Mane for free. Like, we just go buy him. Look, we've heard you've got this player we've never heard of, Sadio Mane. And we've heard you've had a view. He's had a dust up. He had a go at Nagelsmann. You got rid of Nagelsmann. Now he's had a go at Sane. We've heard Sane's in critical condition. Right, you make it sound worse than it is. Right, we'll take him off you. Just terminate his contract and we'll bring him home. We'll bring him home. You know, just do that. I'm hoping, though, to be fair to Jota, in all seriousness, I hope Jota does start finding his form again. I am being serious there, because I like Jota. I think he's a decent lad, decent player. And in all seriousness, I hope he does find his form again. But it's just worrying that it's been so long. Drew saying Mane, Diaz, Salah and Núñez run it back, man. Yeah, Mane hasn't played with Darwin yet, man. Run it back. Get them all back in. Look, Bobby's leaving. There's room for a Sadio. There's a lot of rumours. There's a lot of rumours going online at the moment that Sadio Mane wants to come back as well. He regrets leaving Liverpool now. Why do they all do that, by the way? Why does every player that leaves Liverpool always admit they wish they never left? Do you remember when Fernando Torres left Liverpool for Chelsea? And like a year later, he's like, I wish I never left. It's not tough. You left. The only one who didn't say that was Suarez, because Suarez went on to play for that wicked Barcelona team. But yeah, Mane wants to come back. As long as we don't have to pay anything. As long as we don't have to pay anything, I'm all right with it. I ain't gonna lie. But I hope Jota finds form again. You know, with the Jota stuff, look, I respect Jota. He's had an injury nightmare. I don't think he should be starting games at the moment over a Darwin Núñez. I really don't. I think he should start Darwin because he is the future of the club. But I hope Jota finds his scoring boots again, because once Jota's firing and he's in good form, he's a quality player to have around. The problem with Jota is, and this is my issue with Diogo Jota, yeah? When Jota's not scoring in that firing form, his dropping quality is quite low. You know, he goes from up here, Jota, when he's in form, goes up here, and when that form goes away, he does drop down quite low. You know, say like when a Salah's not scoring goals, Salah won't drop that low. He'll go down just a little bit in his quality, yeah? Where Jota, he goes quite far down. That's my only worry about Jota. There's sort of like no in-between with Diogo Jota. Jota's either electric and quality or gash. That is literally Jota's metrics. Electric and quality or just gash. There's no like in-between with Diogo at the moment. And that's my issue with Jota. That's my issue with Jota. When he's in form and scoring and playing at the highest of his ability, he's a quality player to have around. But when he's not, he literally is terrible, and there's no in between. If there was more of an in between with Jota, I'd be absolutely fine with him. Do you know what I mean? But I hope he does start scoring. I hope he does score against Leeds on Monday. Is it Monday he played Leeds? Yeah. I hope he scores on Monday. I hope he has a great game. But yeah, it's just I worry about him. I worry about Jota. But yeah, let's go to this midfield one more time, guys. So obviously we know we're not going to get Bellingham. I want to know in the chat, guys, realistically, right? Let's do this realistically. Let's not play the game where we just go, right, we'll go by A, B, and C, and it's go right. Let's do this realistically. Knowing who our owners are and everything like that. Realistically, what two midfielders do you think we buy in the summer? Let me know in the live chat right now. Realistic targets. What two midfielders do you see playing for Liverpool on the first game of next season? Let me know in the live chat right now. And while you're doing that, guys, I'm going to talk about the players that I think should stay at Liverpool Football Club in our midfield. So, players that should stay at Liverpool Football Club next season for me, Stefan Bajcetic is one. I think he stays without a shadow of a doubt. Thiago stays for me without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think there's a point in letting Thiago go. He's a quality player. He's our best midfielder. And when he's fit, he's just a difference maker in our football team, yeah. Harvey Elliott. I like Harvey Elliott. He's a young guy with a bright future. Curtis Jones, he's going to stay because of... look, to be fair to Curtis Jones, he's played well the last two games. He wouldn't start for me or anything like that, but we need a squad, don't forget. And Curtis Jones would only stay for me because of the English quota rule and all that sort of stuff. So the homegrown quota rule, the English quota rule, you're going to need these players. So that's why he stays. I'd let Hendo go. I'd let Milner go. I'd let Fabinho go. Because this team can't actually rebuild. This team can't actually rebuild if you're going to keep Hendo, Fabinho and Milner at this football club. If you have to keep them three players at this football club, how are you seriously rebuilding this midfield? All right, let me get to what you guys are saying in the chat. What players you want to go for? Spirit saying McAllister and Mount. Drew saying Mount. Who else do you think, Drew? Because I think we'll buy two midfielders. I think Mount's almost nailed on. Oh, you're going Gallagher. you reckon we'll actually go and buy 2 Chelsea players in the same summer? Because the thing with Conor Gallagher, that I never understood why we're in for him. We literally got Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott's better than Conor Gallagher. So why would you go for Conor Gallagher? That makes no sense to me. But I get what you're saying. McAllister and Mount and McAllister. Jude and McAllister. Big up Jen. Hoping still. Joe Allen Milner for Beanie. Oh, man, Milner. Mount and Nunes. Apparently, we've called off on the Nunes thing. I'm not sure if we have or not. I think we buy Matheus Nunes if Wolves get relegated. If Wolves get relegated, I think Liverpool buy Matheus Nunes. If Wolves stay up, I don't think we buy him. Yeah, we certainly do. I see Ruben Neves. I think it all depends if Wolves get relegated. Casado, Thuram, and that's McAllister, who I want, but I think we get McAllister and Mason Shite. Yeah, I think McAllister and Mason Mount as well. Kone and Thuram would be excellent SG. Henry, don't know, no worries. Casado and Maddison. My worry about Maddison, Liverpool being in for Maddison apparently, but we don't play for number 10, right? And we've got Carvalho. Why buy Maddison when you've got Carvalho? Carvalho's younger. If you go play the number 10 role, just let Carvalho bloody play it. Mount and Barella. Do you know how much I would love Nico Barella? He's available for 50 million. Nico Barella is available apparently from Inter Milan for 50 million. Inter Milan need to sell. Inter Milan need money, guys. Nico Barella for 50 million. Shit's all over the Jude Bellingham deal. I'm telling you right now. It actually is quite an upgrade. I'm all in on Barella. All in on Barella. I really am. I want my Mount coming if we're getting Barella as well. If we're getting Mount and Barella, I'll be happy with that. I ain't gonna lie. Casado and McAllister. How much do you reckon it'll cost to buy Brighton's 2 best players? How much do you reckon it'll cost to buy Brighton's 2 best players? 140, 150 mil? I'm not sure on it. Barella, Mount, Casado or McAllister. Now, Savic is one that's been talked about as well. Casado and Barella, forget the rest. McAllister, Matheus Nunes, Ugarte. Neves and Savic, Casado and Barella, Ugarte and Casado, Trent in right mid, Mount, McAllister and Pacetic. Yeah, that'd be all right midfield. That's better than what we got now, let's face it. And then with Thiago and Fabinho in the mix, that ain't too bad. I agree with that, Calls-Up. I agree with that. Madders, McAllister and Barella. There's rumours that Kelleher's leaving because he wants to play first-team football. It's not that Liverpool want to let him go. It's the fact that Kelleher wants to play first-team football. So Liverpool might not have much choice. It's a bit like when Mignolet wanted to play first-team football for Bruges, and we let him go. It's Shelby and Spearing. Cheeky. Cody, Nunes, Stefan, Allison, Trent, maybe Robbo and Crank, aren't you? That's it. Yeah, I agree. Staying in the team. We need a sitting CDM desperately. I agree, but I just don't know if Liverpool go buy one, Drew. I think they see Stefan Bajcetic and Fabinho and Henderson rotating that number 6 position. I literally think that's how they look at it now. Now, Stefan Bajcetic is going to be back fit for pre-season. Then you've got Fabinho and Henderson. I think that's your rotation number 6. They're your 3 DM rotations. I think that's the way the club are looking at it. Gravenberch, McAllister. Yeah, the McAllister one, a lot of you guys are with, guys, we can't just have box-to-box players. I agree. Rabiot's on a free. Yeah, Rabiot's a shout. Thuram, Mount, Ramsey, Tuchemeni. Yeah, that Tuchemeni rumour ain't going away, is it? We need a Kante, a Rice type player. Do you see how much Rice... Guys, does everyone see how much West Ham want for Declan Rice? Does everyone see how much West Ham want for Declan Rice? They want 150 million. They want 150 million for Declan Rice. That's how much West Ham want. That ain't, nah. That's madness. Brighton wouldn't sell both to one club. I agree. Jamie, I'd rather spend 40 million on Kim at centre back than Barella. Well, that's fair. I mean, he's a good player as well. As long as they're good players coming in, do you know what I mean? No one with FSG in charge. We need a solid back three so Trent and Robbo can play as wing backs. We do. I agree. I think any other manager at Liverpool right now would be playing a back three. I think me and Drew are definitely on agreement with this. I think if we had any other manager at Liverpool right now, I think we would be playing a back three. I think you'd probably see a back three like Gomez, Kanate, and Van Dijk right now, and Trent and Robbo as wing backs. But Klopp won't play a back three. I think it suits. I don't know why we haven't given it a go. You know, it's the one thing we haven't really changed is the defensive formation. Every formation we play has four at the back, either 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2-4, 4-3-2-1. They're the formations that we played this season. They're always four at the back, and it always asks the centre backs and the full backs to still do the same job. This is where I get frustrated with Jurgen sometimes. You're asking the back four to do the same job in a high line, high pressing, fullbacks attacking in different formations. But the back four are still doing the same job all the time and it don't work. It's the only thing we haven't tried. I don't know why we don't give it a try. I know a lot of people in the chat are like, I know a lot of you guys, I know a lot of other people I spoke to are like, why don't we just give it a go? Trent looks like a wing back, not a right back. Look. By the way, talking about right backs and right wing backs, why was Reece James not gotten away? Why is Reece James just getting away with how bad he is as a defender? Can someone please explain to me? Why does Reece James keep getting away with how bad he is as a defender? Did you see that performance he put in against Real Madrid yesterday? Did you see him just jogging back into defensive positions? Like, we all slag Trent off for jogging back into defensive positions and giving up. Does everyone see Reece James yesterday just going, yeah, I'll just jog back nice and slow. Let's jog back nice and slow. And no one talks about it. Nobody talks about Reece James and bad as a defender as he is. Why does he get away with it all the time? I saw Gary Neville in Sky Sports Studio do a whole monologue about how bad Trent's defending is. No one spoke yesterday on BT Sport about Reece James's awful defending at right back and the amount of times he was never in position. Now, Vinny Jr. was just going around him like he was nothing, yeah? And then he would give up. I saw it was a couple of times when Vinny Jr. just went past him and Reece James went, yeah, all right, and just stood still and just watched, right? And when that's Trent, the whole world goes to him. It's on the front pages, on the back pages, on everything. But Reece James does it and everyone's like, yeah, huh? It's just so... I've said this for a while now. I blame the media on Trent. I don't know what it is. It's a hatred for Trent Alexander-Arnold for some reason. Because Reece James, I've been saying it for time now on this channel. Reece James is as good defender as Trent is. I've been saying it for ages, but no one likes to listen. Reece James's defending is awful. Everyone goes on about how good he is as a defender for England. The last time Reece James played, do you remember when Reece James played against Hungary? He came off, like Trent Alexander-Arnold started against Hungary. Does anyone remember this game? I think it was England-Hungary. Trent started the game. It was 0-0. Trent came off. Reece James came on. We lost that game 2-0. And Reece James gave away a penalty. But no one said anything. No one said anything. You know, he just gets away with it. It's like, Reece James is all right. He's a lovely lad. You look at how good he's going forward. His defending is shocking. His defending is shocking. You know, it's just, it does my head in this agenda. And there's YouTube channels out there, like big football YouTube channels that push the agenda all the time, that never back it up. I'm not going to name them because there's no point naming them, but they all know they are. I think people on this channel know they are. Massive football YouTube channels, yeah, on this platform that constantly push the agenda against Trent. Never, ever mention how bad Reece James is at defending. Never. You never hear it. It's always, Trent's terrible, Trent's terrible, Trent's terrible. That's all we heard the other day against Arsenal, how bad Trent was, yeah? But, and then, yes, last night against Real Madrid, not one person in that BT studio. They actually spoke more about Cucurella's bad defending than they did about Reece James. The agenda. Because if no one speaks about it, no one's going to talk about it. So the media speak about Trent all the time. Liverpool concede a goal on the opposite wing to Trent, and it's somehow Trent's fault, right? And they talk about it. Oh, if Trent defended better there, Liverpool would have conceded a goal. What are you chatting about? It came on the other side of the pitch. It's got nothing to do with Trent. But because they talk about it all the time, it gets blown up everywhere, yeah? No one talks about Reece James. BT Sport yesterday were talking more about Cucurella's awful defending than they were about Reece James. It's fucking mad. It's mad that I don't get it. I'm going to start a Reece James thing. I really am. I'm going to start saying, I'm going to try and get this spread. Stop having to go at Trent all the time because Reece James is just as bad. I'm going to go on these big YouTube platforms. I'm going to do, when they do calling shows, yeah? I think people know the channels I'm talking about, yeah? Right? I'm going to go on these massive football YouTube channels, right? And actually put my case across because I'm getting sick and tired of this agenda against one person because it is coming across as bullying. I'm going to be truthful right now. It is coming across as bullying, right? I know, we all know Trent's not a great defender, right? We all acknowledge it. It's not like we're hiding behind it. We all acknowledge it, right? But we move on. We don't keep talking about it. But these people with these agendas, it's just continuous. It's continuous. It's continuous, right? Reece James can't defend. Can we stop protecting him? He cannot defend. He is a terrible defender. Terrible defender. Yeah, everyone on the chat, look, there you go. Everyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Everyone in the chat knows who I'm talking about. But they just don't go on about it. They don't go on, and it does my head in. I thought Reece James stop and just watch when Real Madrid scored yesterday. When Vinny Jr. just went past Reece James and Reece James just stopped and watched. Go back and look at the replay of the first goal. He stood there and watched. He didn't even fight to get back into position. He just stood there. And no one mentions anything. When Trent just does that and gives up and stands there and watches, I have a go at him. Because I'm a Liverpool fan, and rightly so. He's fucked up, and I should have a go at him. Everyone else has a go at him, but the agenda keeps getting driven and driven and driven. Does my head in. Does my head in. Right, and then the Virgil thing. Why I'm on this defending malarkey, yeah? Right, I spoke about FSG and my hatred for him, yeah? Right, that's all done with. People in below, comment below after this video, and let's actually have a nice time. Forget about that now. I'm changing tact right now. I'm coming for people. I'm changing tact right now. Sit back and relax. Right? Lee Gunner is the biggest arsehole on YouTube, right? Let's just get that out there right now, right? What an absolute donkey this bloke is, yeah? Absolute donkey, right? Let's talk about Virgil van Dijk. Let's talk about Virgil, right? Everyone keeps talking about, you can't compare Virgil to Vidic. Why? Because Vidic has a bit longevity and he won things. I hate this trophy stuff. Like people like Lee and Terry and other people bring this up all the time. You can't compare people because they won trophies. So Danny Simpson won a Premier League with Leicester. Does that mean he's better than Steven Gerrard? Diego Maradona never, ever, ever won the European Cup / Champions League. Does that mean he can't ever be one of the best players of all time? He never won the biggest club competition in world football. Maradona never won the biggest club competition in world football. Neither did R9. R9 never won the Champions League. So as a club player, not as an international player, because it's different. As a club player, in their metric, you can't rate R9 and Maradona in because they never won the biggest trophy in club football, right? So I get sick to death with this trophy thing. It's a team sport. It's a team sport. It's not an individual. This is not golf. This is not golf where it's individual. It's a team sport. Why do we keep going on about trophies? Steven Gerrard never won the Premier League, but you can't sit here and tell me there was a better British-born midfielder in the Premier League era, because there weren't one. Yeah? He was the best British-born. He's arguably one of the best British-born footballers of all time. But these people with their vendettas will go, Gaza is the greatest British footballer of all time. People will tell me Gaza is the greatest, Paul Gascoigne is the greatest British footballer of all time. Paul Gascoigne hardly won anything, hardly won any trophies whatsoever, but they put him on a pedestal. But because it's Steven Gerrard and he plays for Liverpool, and there's a vendetta, and there's vicious bastards out there who can't take their vendetta away from them and actually use their brain cells and discuss what a player is, they go, nah, Steven Gerrard's overrated and won a Premier League. Everyone talks to me how good Steven Gerrard is, but he couldn't take his team over the line and win a Premier League. But you put Paul Gascoigne as the best British footballer of all time. You're absolute fucking morons. Yeah? This is where I get absolutely sick and tired of all this stuff. I get sick and tired of it. I get sick and tired of unintelligent football debate. These football debates are not intelligent. They go on these channels just to use banter and to get themselves popular because they're going against the grain. No, you're not. We know what you're doing. Be intelligent. Actually use your marbles. Yeah? Wayne Rooney is a fabulous footballer. I am never going to diss Wayne Rooney as a footballer. As a person, he's a scumbag. As a footballer, Wayne Rooney and Steven Gerrard are probably the two best British footballers I've seen in my lifetime. Wayne Rooney is an Evertonian and a Man United legend, yeah? Right? And I'm saying it on my Liverpool channel that Wayne Rooney and Steven Gerrard, and I think everyone in the chat would agree with this, are probably the two best British footballers of our lifetime, right? But you can't make that comparison on these when you talk to these people, because they're going, "Oh, did he win? They won the Premier League. You never won that." Oh, okay, all right. But you're just telling me Paul Gascoigne's the best British footballer of all time. He never won jack shit. So how could you say Paul Gascoigne's the best, but Steven Gerrard ain't? It makes no sense. Stop using trophies as an analyst to what you are as a player, because it makes no sense. So if you're talking about R9 as a club player, not an international footballer, forget international football. These people will tell you international football is completely different and doesn't count, yeah? Because day-to-day football is club football, yeah? So let's talk about Ronaldo, R9 and Maradona. They never won a European Cup. The biggest trophy in club football. They never won one, right? So by their metric, we can't count them two as some of the two of the greatest footballers that ever played football, right? Because they never won the European Cup. It's just mad. And they'll go on about Glenn Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle this, Glenn Hoddle that. Oh, what a player he was. One jack shit. Can we stop? Can we stop with this bollocks of like who won what and who won it where and all this sort of stuff all the time, and just look at a player with the quality? It's a team sport. What more could Steven Gerrard do for Liverpool than he did? Steven Gerrard dragged Liverpool through everything. Steven Gerrard put Liverpool on his back and took them out of hell and brought them to heaven. That is what Steven Gerrard did for Liverpool Football Club. He put the whole team on his back, dragged them from hell and brought them to heaven. What more do you want him to do? Literally, what more do you want him to do? World-class ability. It can't help it that everyone around him, he's got Bruno, he's got Barros in front of him, Biscan next to him. What do you want Steven Gerrard to actually do? It's absolutely madness. Absolute madness. Do you think Alan Shearer is top 10 best UK players of your lifetime? Yeah, of course he is. Alan Shearer's a legend, man. Be out to super chat again, Steve. Alan Shearer's a great player, tremendous player. Is he the best Premier League player of all time? No. Is it probably Henry, what I saw? Yeah. I loved Henry, but Shearer's up there, definitely top 10. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, Pele's never won the Champions League either. He never even played in Europe. Pele never played in Europe. He played in South America and North America his whole career. Pele never played in Europe, but people say he's the best of all time. It's just, Yeah, Bruno Shearer. You know, Gerrard's playing alongside Bruno Shearer. Come on. What do you want him to do? Big up, John. Seen you on This Is Football last night. I had to look up your channel. Big up, John Kelly. Thank you for joining me, my friend. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the channel, my man. Stevie G's a legend of the game. One of the best British players of all time, up there with Rooney. There's no doubt about it, right? But this thing with Virgil van Dijk. So everyone says you can't compare Virgil van Dijk to Vidic because what Vidic won compared to Virgil, yeah? Fucking hell. It does my head in. Virgil van Dijk at his peak was a far better player than Vidic. It's a fact. I'm sorry, right? Because we're looking at how bad Virgil van Dijk is this season, yeah? Go back in time. There was I don't know if everyone saw it, but someone put a Vidic thing up on their timeline on Twitter, yeah? And with all different videos, right? Going through his timeline on Twitter about Vidic mistakes that were never spoke about because back when Vidic was playing, social media weren't like it is now. No, it ain't blown up like it is now. YouTube was about, but it wasn't blown up like it is now. Twitter was about, but it's not blown up like it is now. Not everything was on social media. So no one spoke about it. Vidic made mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Virgil van Dijk in his prime, a prime Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion, I've never seen a defender like it. He was 6 votes away from winning the Ballon d'Or. 6 votes. 6 votes away from winning the Ballon d'Or against Messi and Ronaldo. In the era of Messi and Ronaldo, there's not been hardly any players that have gone in between them. Yes, you've had a Modric here and there and a Cannavaro and players like that. These are world-class footballers, but not a defender. He was 6 or what? Virgil van Dijk was 6 votes out from winning the Ballon d'Or. And in theory, I think Messi spoke about it, that Virgil van Dijk should have won the Ballon d'Or that year. He should have won the Ballon d'Or that year. He was the best player in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. We're talking about a centre-back who was arguably the best player in the damn world that year. And we're talking about he can't touch Vidic's peak. Are we stupid? Oh, longevity is a different thing. And then Man United fans will bring up Jaap Stam. They bring up longevity and go, oh, Virgil can never be in a contention against Terry and Vidic and Rio Ferdinand because of longevity, right? Okay. Don't bring up Jaap Stam then, because Jaap Stam was only at Man United for 2 years. Do not bring him up. If you're going to talk about longevity, do not bring up Jaap Stam. By the way, Jaap Stam was an utter beast and a tremendous centre-back. World class. But at his peak, he was never Virgil van Dijk. Can we just stop? Virgil at his peak for them 2 or 3 years was untouchable. Do you know how good Virgil van Dijk was? He made Liverpool fans believe Joe Gomez was world class. That's how good Virgil van Dijk was. He made Liverpool fans think Joe Gomez was world class. That's how good he was. He was Superman. It's just madness. I don't get what. Look, Man United fans are never going to agree, and Liverpool fans are never going to agree with this. And rightly so, because you're a Man United fan, you're a Liverpool fan. You never go. Man United fans and Liverpool fans are never going to come together and go, yeah, Virgil van Dijk was better. Of course they're not. They're not. But neutral fans that just hate Liverpool and come up with nonsense. Oh, what did he win? What did he win? He never won as much. Okay, was he playing for a better football team? Was he playing in an era that football was easier? Tell me that. Was Vidic playing in an era for Man United when the league was easier than it is now? Yeah? Did he play in a league where, there's VAR and things like that now, and you can't kick players anymore, or anything like that, or any shirt pulls a penalty now and things like that? Stats. Don't give me stats. Don't go and give me stats on Vidic and Virgil, because football is totally different. You could get away with a lot more as a centre back 10 years ago than you can today in football. Centre backs have to almost be perfect now, not to get booked, gives free kicks away or give penalties away. So stats are pointless. As a defender 10 years ago, you could kick someone up the arse and it wouldn't matter, right? Now you get red carded. So these sort of stats in defending are completely and utterly different. So stats are meaningless as a defender right now because we're playing two different football games now. Football is so different compared to 10 years ago, all right? It's just, stop it. I can't understand why people can't understand that for 2 or 3 years, Virgil was an alien. It just was. It was just a legitimate alien. No one played against him. I remember watching, how many players have we watched people run against Virgil and just pass the ball because they don't want to go near him? They want, no, this is Virgil van Dijk. He had such an aura about him that opposition players are like, no, it's Virgil. I'm not running at you. And they just pass the ball off instead of running at Virgil because the aura he had. That's how good he was. Why are we pretending that Virgil was shit? This is my problem with it. So now people go, oh, Virgil van Dijk was overrated because he's having a bad year this year. So apparently Virgil's whole career was overrated because he's having a bad year. Oh, fuck off. Stop. It's just clickbait for clickbait sense. You're just clickbaiting and talking nonsense. I'm sick of it. I hate nonsense talking football. It does my head in. I'm all for banter. Banter's great. But sometimes banter goes too far and it comes unintelligent. And it does my head. I hate that sort of football talk. I can rate opposition teams. I've just said I've rated Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is an Evertonian and a Man United legend. He's Man United's top goal scorer. Wayne Rooney was a quality player. He was world class. Wayne Rooney was arguably, him and Steven Gerrard, the two greatest British footballers of our generation, without a shadow of a doubt. I can rate Wayne Rooney because I'm not going to play that banter thingy game because he was just a Man United player. I'm not stupid. Wayne Rooney was quality out of this world, yeah? And I can admit that. Wayne Rooney is a far better footballer than Harry Kane. Yeah, Harry Kane might be England's top goal scorer now, taking Rooney's record, but you can't tell me Harry Kane's a better footballer than Wayne Rooney. Come on. What are we doing here? It just gets silly. Is that the Irish Gasser? You can't rate players of a different generation to players today. The game's totally different. That's why I don't like stats. I'm with Irish Gasser here. That's why if you give me the stats of Vidic to the stats of Van Dijk, and people go, well, look at Vidic's stats are better. Yeah, but football 10 years ago was different for a centre-back. 10 years ago, centre-backs could foul more. They could hold on more. They could get away with more. You can't touch anyone nowadays in football. Everything's a foul. So, yeah, you can't compare stats like that because we're living in two different eras. Football moves so fast. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just mad. Gangnam Deep with the super chat. Your five-a-side overrated team in Premier League era. Oh my God. So 5 overrated players in the Premier League era. Oh my good God. Fucking hell. Wow. Wow. Oof. Right. I'm going to start with one. And this might be controversial. By the way, overrated don't mean you're a terrible footballer, by the way. But this one might be a bit controversial because of his longevity. He won more league titles for one team than anyone else. He beat Alan Hansen's record. I think he's got more Premier League titles than anyone else and probably anyone ever will be. But I'm going to say Ryan Giggs. And the reason I say Ryan Giggs, this is going to be mad. People are going to come at me. I don't think Ryan Giggs was as great as everyone made him out to be. I don't think Ryan Giggs was as great as everyone made him out to be. Look, Sadio Mane played in a similar position and scores far more goals and assists more. Simple as that. I'd have a peak Mane playing left wing over a Ryan Giggs. A peak Ryan Giggs and a peak Mane. I'm picking a peak Mane every day of the week. So yeah, I'm going Ryan Giggs, man. I'm going Ryan Giggs. Plus, the man's a scumbag. The man's an utter scumbag and should probably be in prison. So I'm putting him there as well. Yeah, for that as well. Yeah, stats in different eras don't mean anything, Pac-Man. You're correct, but I also think Giggs was overrated. I don't think he was as good. I don't think he was as good as he's made out to be. I'm not saying Ryan Giggs is a bad footballer. I'm just saying he's overrated. Ryan Giggs was a very good footballer, just not to the level that everyone makes him out to be. That's where I'm coming from. My other one would be John Terry. Yeah, you might get a film with this. I'm going Scum FC here. But my other overrated player would be John Terry. I actually think Carvalho was a better defender than John Terry when they played together at Chelsea. I think Carvalho was the far better defender. No one ever gives him credit. I think when John Terry and Carvalho were a centre-back partnership, I thought Carvalho was the far better defender. And no one ever gave him his credit. Never. So I'm going to put John Terry in overrated for that. Guys, it doesn't mean John Terry's a bad footballer. He's a quality footballer. Overrated might mean different things to different people. Overrated might mean different things to different people. Let me think. Striker. Oh, an overrated striker, man. An overrated striker. Yeah, scumbag 5. You got it, 60. Guys, what does everyone think of what overrated means? What does everyone think overrated means in your eyes? If you think overrated means they're a terrible footballer, that's not what I'm saying. I think overrated means people build up a player to be better than they actually are. That's what I mean by it. That's what I mean by overrated. So it all depends what you guys mean by overrated. For me, overrated means they're a good footballer. Nothing wrong with them. They're great footballers. But people made them out to be better than they actually are. That's my sum of it. So I'm not saying Terry's a terrible footballer, guys. Terry was a tremendous centre back, but I just said the reason I put him in the overrated bit is because for me, Carvalho was a better defender than John Terry at their time at Chelsea, and that's it. Overhyped. Doesn't mean they're crap. This is where people get this wrong. It's not crap. Ryan Giggs is a tremendous footballer. John Terry is a tremendous footballer. You know, it's as simple as that. My midfielder is Frank Lampard. I think Frank Lampard is extremely overrated. Again, extremely good footballer. People are going to come at me here because they don't understand. Extremely good footballer, but overrated. I don't think Frank Lampard was ever world class, but extremely good footballer. And people are going to come at me with the stats. I know people are going to come at me with the stats and go, look at Frank Lampard's goals and assists. Yes, if we're going to do the stats, Frank Lampard's goals and assist stats are better than Zidane's. But who you going to pick, Zidane or Frank Lampard as a midfielder? If you had to pick a midfielder tomorrow and you had two choices, Frank Lampard or Zidane, everyone in the world is picking Zidane, yeah? Because he's a better footballer. But stats-wise, Frank Lampard's stats are better than Zidane's. So you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful. See, people might not understand what overrated is, man. People might not know what overrated is. Right. Next, I'm going to put in there Mo Salah. There you go. There you go. All right, let's do it now. Mo Salah, overrated. There you go. Say, Chelsea fans, calm down. I'll put Mo Salah in there. I'm being even, guys. I'm being even. Yeah? I'm putting even in now. Yeah? And the reason Mo Salah is overrated is because he's not the all-round footballer that people say he is. Mo Salah is a goal scorer, but his all-round game is not world-class. So that way, he's a little overrated. Do you actually see what I'm trying to say now, guys? So people that are getting upset with me putting Ryan Giggs and John Terry and Frank Lampard in there, they're quality footballers. Quality footballers. They're just overhyped. Mo Salah is not a world-class all-round footballer, is he? We get so frustrated with Mo Salah. He's a great goal scorer. Yeah? So there you go. There you go. See? Everyone's starting to understand what I mean by world-class, but overrated. See, some people might go overrated and just do an easy overrated. Like, let's do an easy overrated. Let's do an easy overrated. Let's put Henderson in there. Henderson's overrated, right? Whoever rated Henderson in the first place is absolutely nuts. What's the point of me picking Jordan Henderson and being an overrated five-a-side when no one ever rated Jordan Henderson? I mean, that's just a mad pick. That don't make no sense. Right, guys, let me know what you think overrated is. Let you guys tell me what overrated is, because I don't think we're on the same path here. You guys let me know what overrated is. You let me know what overrated is. Because overrated to me are very good footballers, very, very good footballers that are overhyped. Yeah? Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is overrated. People are making out like he's world class. Is Jude Bellingham world class? No. So, but is he a very good footballer? Yes. So Jude Bellingham is overrated. Do you guys see what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying, guys? You know what I'm saying? Big up Gang and Deep. But then I think Gang and Deep knows what I'm probably trying to say here. Some people are, but some people are just not getting what I'm saying. Yeah, basically what Colin says there. Not as good as the media says. Yeah, not as good as the media says. Basically, that's for me overrated. You know, it's not me saying these are bad footballers. These are very good footballers. Yeah, but the media overrate them to something they're not at the level at. Yeah, like here's another one. Eden Hazard, right? Eden Hazard. The media tried to tell you that Eden Hazard was good as Lionel Messi. That's ridiculous. That's overrating Hazard. Hazard was a quality footballer. One of the best the Premier League has seen, without a shadow of a doubt. But he was nowhere near the quality of Leo Messi. But the media started doing things when Hazard was in his prime, comparing him to Messi. That's overrating a player. Do you see what I mean, guys? That is overrating a player. Hazard was insane, Pac-Man, but they overrated him by comparing him to Messi. That's what I'm saying. That's what overrated means. Yeah? Foden, overrated because he only works in a Man City system. He's world class in that system, but he can't do it for England. So he's overrated. Yeah, it's what people make someone where they're not. That's what overrated is to me. We got too many people that are called world class in this day and age. People that are called world class, like Son. Son for Tottenham is overrated. For me, Son is a purple patch player. And when he's in his purple patch, he's almost untouchable. But then he has times where he doesn't do F at all. So he's not a world class footballer. So Son is overrated. Yeah? It's just, oh, God. I can't believe I have to explain what overrated means to people all the time. No, it's people overrating that player. It doesn't mean that player is terrible. Does everyone understand now? Does people understand it? Do people get it? And Irish Scouts was right. The word generational is used for every player who's got a bit of talent. Every player that's got a little bit of talent is also a generational player. It just does my mate. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah, that's fair enough, Pac-Man. Yeah, De Bruyne probably should have won it that year. You're correct. Overrating, yeah. Well, that's the media rating Henderson higher than he should be. So, yeah, you're right. That is overrating. Yeah, that is what overrating is. That's what I'm saying. Like, every player's not world class. Yeah, they're not. Like, Arsenal fans are at the moment overrating Saka. Saka's a quality player, but he's not world class. But they're all saying he's world class. That's overrating the player. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by it. Hazard in his prime was a tremendous player, one of the best players the Premier League has seen. But then the media started comparing him to Messi. And that's like, no, you're overrating him now. He's nowhere near Messi level. You know, Messi was better than Hazard when Messi was 19. A 19-year-old Messi was still better than any version of Eden Hazard ever. So you're overrating the player. That's what I mean by it, guys. That's what I mean by it. But big up to everyone in chat. Look what you started, Gangan Deep, with your super chat. Yeah, Scraps is right. Bellingham's overrated. Exactly. Yeah, you guys have started saying now. I'm going to get clipped up everywhere. Chelsea fans go, oh, Jamie Phillips football chats said Lampard and Ryan Giggs and John Terry overrated. And then they're going to try and milk it and go, oh, you have no idea. This man's got no football intelligence whatsoever. And then I'd have to get people to come back and watch the video and go, no, them three players are very good players, quality footballers, but the media overrated them. Work it out. Work it out. In fact, most footballers are overrated in some aspect. Let's put it that way. Most footballers are overrated in some aspect, because if you've got a favourite footballer and you go on about him all the time, you're going to overrate him to what the ability he actually's got. So loads of footballers are overrated, guys. Reece James, overrated without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, why didn't I think of that straight away? Reece James is well overrated. Can't defend. His defending's as bad as Trent's, but the media don't talk about it, so he's overrated. Mesut Ozil, overrated. They made him sound like he was bloody Van Basten or something like that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, he assisted Ronaldo at Real Madrid all the time. I could do that. Jesus Christ. Come on. It's ridiculous. That's what I mean by overrated, guys. Big up to everyone for the chat. We'll go end it there because I'm fuming. Kangan Deep done me up like a kipper. Done me up like a kicker. Dele Alli overrated. Yeah, look where his career's gone. Yeah, Pep's done marvellous for John. John Stones is the best English defender without a shadow of a doubt. I don't want to hear anyone say another name. John Stones is the best English centre-back around. And Harry doesn't play for England all the time. I don't know. John Stones should be the first name on England's team sheet when it comes to defenders. He's England's best defender without a shadow of a doubt. And, yeah, he should be on there easily. Matt Letizia is underrated for the reason he stayed at Southampton his whole career. Totally. He's very underrated. Scholes is overrated. The Scholes debate, the Scholes versus Lampard versus Gerrard debate will never end. I don't know what Scholes did that was better than Gerrard. I'm not even being a biased fan here. I watched both growing up. I lived through that time of football. I didn't see what Scholes did that was any better than what Steven Gerrard did as a footballer. Can anyone name anything Scholes could do that Gerrard couldn't? And they go about Scholes' long passing. Did you see Gerrard's long passing? It was just as good. Goal scoring, Gerrard was just as good, even better. Tackling, Scholes couldn't tackle, Gerrard could. Playing the multiple positions in midfield. Could Scholes play the number 10? Could Scholes play right midfield? Could Scholes play the number 8? Could Scholes play as a number 6? No. Could Steven Gerrard? Yes. Could Scholes play right back in a Champions League final when AC Milan brought on Serginho and we had no right back left? So Steven Gerrard had to play right back and Serginho never got a kick of the ball for the whole of extra time? No, Scholes couldn't do that. So yes, Scholes is a little overrated. Gerrard, again, out of this world, man. Out of this world. Different players, exactly. Big up everyone in the chat. Scholes can chew his daughter's toes. Yeah, there's a difference in there's a difference in players, man. Gerrard was your all-round midfielder, could play in multiple positions and be excellent in every position. Scholes was your midfielder that was excellent in one midfield position. Yeah, you put Scholes in one midfield position, he's going to excel better than everyone else, right? But Gerrard could play in multiple midfield positions. It's a lot different. It's a lot different. They didn't play exactly in the same position. But big up to everyone in chat. Thank you for joining me today. We had a great chat. We've had a great chat here. And, yeah, appreciate it. Gangan Deep done me over with the overrated bit because I've been getting caught at now. But it's just my opinion, guys. Doesn't mean players are bad. As I said, Lampard's a quality footballer. Terry's a quality footballer. Giggs is a quality footballer. They were just a little bit overrated by the media. That was all. That is all I'm saying. Don't come at me. But big up with the guys. I hope you know where I stand now. FSG out. Out. So don't come at me anymore. Klopp needs to do better next season. There's no doubt about that. Guys, that's it from me today. Mission achieved. Big up to you, man. Big up, Gang and Deep. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Saw a report at Sky Sports saying we are targeting Caicedo and Rice. What, 2 DMs? If we get Caicedo and Rice, I'm well happy with that. Don't get me wrong. If we get Caicedo and Rice, guys, through the door, I'm happy. I'm an happy Jamie. Right. How is Salah overrated? Overrated by people saying that he's an all-round footballer when he's not. His all-round game is not the best. He's a world-class goal scorer, but his all-round game isn't world-class. That's what I mean by it, but he's still a quality footballer. That's all I mean by it. That's all I mean by it. That's all I mean by it. Don't come at me with the Salah stuff. You know, Salah's all-round game is very, very frustrating. We can't all sit here and pretend Salah's all-round game is not frustrating. We can't sit here and pretend we do not get frustrated at Mo Salah sometimes. Come on. Frustrates us immensely at times. But he's a quality goal scorer. Look, I can't sit here and go, he's not crap. Salah's quality. He scores 20-plus goals every single season as a right winger. You've got to hold your hands up on that and say that's quality. But it's all-round game. It's all-round game. It's all-round game. To be fair, Raz, I've been complaining about Mo's game for about 3 years now. I ain't lying. I've always complained about Mo being frustrating to me. He might not be frustrating. This is what I'm saying. Overrated to people. Other people might be different, guys. There's no way getting qualms about it and getting upset about it, guys. Salah frustrates me. Salah as a footballer just frustrates me. That's all it is, guys. He frustrates me. I watch Mo Salah every week and know he can do better. I watch Mo Salah running in on the goal and trying to score at the near post when he should be going far post and he puts it 5 yards wide. You know, that is frustrating. I watch Mo Salah get the ball and can't pass to his strike partner and just gives the ball away. That's frustrating. That's where I'm coming from, guys. That's where I'm coming from. But it don't mean I don't love the guy. I've been said it many times. Mo Salah should never leave Liverpool Football Club. Mo Salah should just stay at Liverpool Football Club until he retires because we're not going to replace his goals on the right wing, right? Why would you let him go? So I love Mo. So, yeah, don't come at me too much. Right, guys, I'm out of here. Big up to all you guys. Much love, much love. I expect I'm going to see in the comments after this video, everyone going at me about my overrated players. Go for it. I don't care. I've already said these players are quality. They're just overrated by the media. Come at me all you will. Much love, much love. I'll see you again tomorrow for the Leeds preview. Big up, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.